Training and skills development.
5 bills were read the third time and passed, among them the bill to amend some sections of the Compulsory Free Universal Basic Education Act. The House adopted a motion from Representative Ahmed Munir, which urged authorities to look into observations on blocked SIM cards, which he said could be used to make calls when outside Nigeria's area of coverage. Meanwhile, the House has described as mischievous reports in some sections of the media on attempts to impeach the Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila in relation to the Water Resources Bill.
There's nothing like that going on. To the best of my own knowledge, I'm not aware.
It was baseless, mischievous, and unfounded. This House, in every aspect of it, in all ramifications, had never had an instance where we contemplated impeaching our able Speaker, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila.
We shouldn't be bothered about those who want to write and paint a picture that does not even exist. So I want Nigerians to be assured that the House of Representatives is doing everything possible to support government.
The Water Resources Bill was previously passed by the House in the 8th Assembly. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, is assuring Nigerians that the Water Resources Bill before the National Assembly is not in any way designed to make them pay heavily for domestic use of water. The minister made this clarification at a high-level engagement between the Ministry of Water Resources and stakeholders in Abuja. Thomas Obetere reports.
There is no doubt that water is one of the necessities of life. And for this food vendor, Mary Adako, in her early 40s, she can just imagine success in her business without access to potable water.
At times we fetch this water from well, and if the well dry, we fetch from borehole.
With the importance of water for domestic and industrial use, it is not surprising that some are seeking clarification on the Water Resources Bill before the National Assembly.
People have been pushing online and on different social media space that the government wants to take our waterways, and the average or typical Niger Delta man feeds from the river.
People that use water in this country in commercial quantities and are not paying government. These are the people that government is trying to regulate.
Obliged to this, the Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, is engaging stakeholders to shed more light on the bill and correct some of the erroneous information and misinterpretation already out to the public, that the bill seeks to confiscate state lands and force citizens to pay high taxes for the drilling of domestic boreholes and use of water for domestic purposes.
Private sector can now come in and invest their money. Maybe it may not be, we're not saying we're going to privatize dams. We're not privatizing our rivers. We're not privatizing the water supply per se. But they can come in, they can do management contracts to manage the water agency better, more efficiently than the civil servants.
The federal government has proposed the harmonization of the River Basin Development Authority Act, Water Resources Institute Act, and the Hydrological Services Act in the new Water Resources Bill for more effective water management system. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
Nigeria has earned positive review in operating an open budgeting process and making significant progress in the fight against corruption. Chief Executive Officer of the Open Government Partnership, Sanjay Pradhan, during an audience with Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says Nigeria operates an ambitious open government agenda across the 77 participating countries. Mitari Ikwen report.
The Open Government Partnership is a league of 77 countries with thousands of civil society organizations working together to make governments more transparent, participatory, and responsive to citizens. The Buhari administration's resolve to fight corruption as a major policy plank led Nigeria to join the Open Government Partnership in July 2016 as the 70th country. 6 years after, the Open Government Partnership is pleased with the remarkable progress Nigeria has made, especially in the areas of open procurement and budgeting processes, as well as tangible benefits to citizens in terms of transparent projects and programs.
The accomplishment of Nigeria is that it has jumped 24 points up in the open budget index, which is measured by a very reputable organization in opening up the budget through disclosure of the budget and citizen participation in the budget process at the federal level.
Thanking the delegation for acknowledging Nigeria's modest achievements in fiscal transparency, the SGF boss Mustafa says the Buhari administration is poised to do more in being accountable to citizens.
When they bring contracts to the Federal Executive Council, one of the things that we always want to see is that, was this contract advertised? We are also developing a citizen app that the citizens will have an opportunity of looking at the projects that we have set and the policies that we have set and the programs that we have set and be able to give us feedback.
This government has also now finished the construction of the second longest bridge in the country that connects the northeast to the southeast. And what that bridge has done is that it takes away about 6 hours of travel.
The Open Government Partnership wants Nigeria to step up reforms in the oil and gas sector and facilitate greater citizens' participation in budget monitoring, especially at the subnational levels. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Right, this is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Ahead in the news. Bomb explosion averted in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital, as army confirms terrorist attack in Bauchi. Details when we return. Please stay. The anti-bomb unit of the Nigerian Police Force in Kogi State Tuesday averted what would have resulted in a calamity, precipitating a controlled detonation of what seemed like a locally improvised explosive device near some major government buildings in Lokoja, the state capital. Solomon Ayedeyin reports that the Kogi state government has also debunked rumors of a bomb explosion in the state as reported by a section of the media.
The object was allegedly planted on the perimeter fence housing the office of the Secretary to Kogi State Government, Ministry of Women Affairs, and that of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, opposite the newly constructed President Muhammadu Buhari Event Center in Lokoja Metropolis. The local vigilante personnel on duty discovered the object while on morning patrol and quickly alerted security operatives who immediately cordoned the area.
I came out from the mosque and started going around to see the vicinity. Then I noticed there was a kind of thing on the fence of this block light. So when I noticed it, my experience I had and my training, I discovered that this thing could be a bomb. When I saw it, I know this thing is a bomb because it was wired. The battery on it.
The police anti-bomb unit was drafted to detonate the object. Efforts to get police and other security operatives to comment on the incident were unsuccessful. Meanwhile, the press secretary to Kogi State Governor Onogu Mohammed in a statement said there is no bomb explosion in Lokoja, emphasizing that the object upon deployment of security experts was found to be mere plastic bottles and cans of insecticide wrapped together with a power source to look like an IED. Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army has confirmed that suspected terrorists attacked troops of the Guards Brigade around Bauchi area of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The Assistant Director of Army Public Relations Guards Brigade, Captain Godfrey Abaka, who confirmed the incident, stressed that the terrorists were successfully repelled while 3 soldiers were wounded during the cross-firing and receiving treatment. He adds that troops are combing the entire area to get rid of the criminals. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, has sounded a stern warning that Nigeria's military will deal decisively with anyone who takes up arms against the state. General Yahaya gave the warning in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, while inspecting refurbished and the new military equipment at the May Malari cantonment. Maimuna Garba reports.
The routine operational visit to Headquarters Theatre Command Operation Hadinkai by Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya was to further encourage troops to continue to give their best in securing the nation, saying the military remains committed to its mandate, while appreciating the relative peace being enjoyed in the northeast and other areas. General Yahaya described the recent happenings by criminals in the country as a panic action which the military will deal with decisively.
And anybody who take up arms against the state in whatever form it is will get to him. This is a message to all the criminals, whether they are making videos or whatever they are making. The time is up and we'll get to them by the grace of God.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, had, after receiving the usual operational briefs by commanders within the theatre, inspected 5 T-72 tanks which were refurbished and an Eagle-Man battle tank recovered from the terrorists by the military, which was put to test before him. To further enhance welfare of soldiers and address accommodation challenges, the Chief of Army Staff unveiled a block of 36 flats and other infrastructural projects within Maimalari Cantonment, as well as inspected ongoing construction work at 7 Division Hospital. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Nigeria is upscaling the capacity of its security personnel to effectively stem the volatile contemporary security challenges. This is the thrust of a seminar organized by the Nigerian Army on peace support operation. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
Africa is facing different security challenges in different parts. But an end to all this in sight, the military promised. Terrorism, banditry, and secessionist agitation are the major challenges. The complex nature of this require joint operations.
This seminar is characteristically another Nigerian Army's noble efforts at deepening collaboration with sister services and other security agencies towards enhancing our competencies. As we are all aware, the contemporary operations environment is increasingly complex, ambiguous, and volatile. Our operations therefore need to be joint and multi-agency in scope so as to harness the combined competencies in all in order to achieve desired end states.
The seminar is focusing on Nigeria in contemporary peace support operations.
It is therefore elating to know that the Nigerian Army is being quite proactive by organizing seminars such as this, where interactions between agencies with peace support operations capabilities could be fostered.
Nigeria is the dominant nation in peace support operations in Africa, and ending this is a task that must be achieved, and this seminar holds the key to a large extent. From the Nigerian Army War College in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Still on security, the Nigeria Police says it is not leaving any stone unturned in fortifying the Federal Capital Territory and environs. In a statement by the first Public Relations Officer, Olumoyiwa Adejobi, the IGP has ordered additional deployment of assets to strategic areas of the FCT, while the Force Intelligence Bureau has been charged on robust intelligence gathering and information sharing, among other agencies. The force urges residents of FCT and environs to synergize and be on the same page with the police and other security agencies in forestalling any ugly incidences in around the FCT. Now, issues of insecurity along the Lake Charge Basin have continued to intensify by the day, demanding more collaborative efforts among concerned citizens. Finding solution to these and other issues is why a delegation of the academia from Republic of Niger is visiting Nigeria. Ekena Indulue reports. Now, film of that report will come shortly. Moving on. And as the federal government considers the plan to ban motorcycle operations nationwide to curb insecurity, the Amalgamated Commercial Tricycle and Motorcycle Owners Association of Nigeria is appealing to government to reconsider the proposal in the economic interest of its members. Chairman of the association, Shamsuddin Apelogun, at the media briefing in Abuja, says banning motorcycle operations will render many youths jobless. Members of the association expressed willingness to partner government in the efforts in curbing security challenges.
And the security agencies is like national identity card for Nigeria. So if they let the NIPSA app take effect, definitely know how you ride machine, you will not be on database. So far you have your data on that application. It's not possible for anybody to use motorcycle to terrorize or to do any illicit. It will easily track down.
Now, members of the association expressed willingness to partner government in the efforts to curb security challenges. Now, you're still on the news at 10. We'll take a break. When we return, Nigeria Labour Congress and other organized labor movements begin peaceful protests across the country. Details when we return.
The day. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTA. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk.
And to watch NTA International in the USA, Canada, and Mexico, use the following satellite parameters.
You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Our pastors, our imams, in every church, in every mosque, please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayers. If we want a stable society before, during, and after the elections, what should you be saying to those that worship with you? All Sundays and all Fridays, you are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations. It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message from the National Orientation Agency.
Approaching this site of utmost beauty occasioned by chains of rocks of varying sizes points to the fact that the journey leads to a town with rich historical landmarks and sites of tourism significance. It's a journey to Das, the headquarters of Das local government area, Bauchi State, northeastern Nigeria. Das covers an area of about 535 kilometers square and consists of 11 districts which are Bununu, Wandi, Bundot, Polchi, Lukshi, Baraza, Dot, Bajar, Bajel, Durup and Zumbul. The town is characterized by two distinct climate conditions which are dry and wet seasons, as it is located within the Guinea savanna type of climate. Geologically, Das is located on the basement complex rocks of North Central Highland. Thus, it is surrounded by rocks of different sizes, which gives the location its aesthetic design, hence pleasing to sight. The choice of this location to settle by ancient inhabitants was indeed not detached from the antecedents of their term.
Historically, in the northern settlements, the ancient towns had traditionally built walls to protect themselves against the invaders during the jihad period. Then our ancestors, due to their wisdom, being warriors, they now found it more advantageous. One, time will not permit them to build that wall because they were migrated from the ancient Borno Empire. Ngazargamu settled in many places, including Lapi and Baribari, the present headquarters of Nasarawa State. Then in Bununu, the present headquarters of Tafabule local government, they moved down here under the leadership of Mumini, who was the leader of the entourage of the 1841. Therefore, the surrounding that you see, you now see, okay, let us settle here so that our enemies will not have direct access to conquer and defeat us. It's a military strategy, which even now, if you look at it critically, you will believe with me that yes, our ancestors were truly warriors. They have that vision, the wisdom. That's the reason. And their ideas served them up till our generations.
Of all the rocks that surround Das town, Dutsimbula is the highest. It has a height of 4,100 meters above sea level. Therefore, it can be seen from several kilometers away when one approaches Das from all directions.
Dutsimbula is a very prominent feature that as soon as you are coming out from Bauchi on a clear day, leaving Bauchi from about 10 kilometers, you can be able to sight Dutsimbula. And if you are coming from Jos area, you can see Dutsimbula the moment you get to around Toro. You will see Dutsimbula.
Mbula Rock has features of towering peaks and rocky boulders covered with trees, hence making it look like a forest dotted with rocks owing to the fairly thick vegetation. At the foot of the mountain, where the ancient inhabitants of Das settled before moving to the present location, there still exists the structure of the colonial treasury building, which was built in 1923 by the colonial masters. It served as the Bauchi Das Province Native Authority Liaison Office, as well as the treasury where revenue and levies after collection are gathered for onward delivery to the authorities. Close to it is a mosque with historical importance to the people of Das. It was built in 1841 by the early Muslim settlers. Although the mosque has undergone renovations over time in order to repair structural defects, its traditional architectural design, typical of ancient northern Nigeria, is still maintained. Mbula Rock is a massive rock with an unimaginable beauty as well as tourist potential. Viewing the entire area of Das town from the top of the rock reveals the architectural beauty of the ancient town. Tourists will have a lot to remember once they experience what these historic and beautiful rocks offer. Gushing from the top of the mountain is a beautiful waterfall named Paandi by the inhabitants. The waterfall serves as one of the major sources of water for the ancient inhabitants. Even today, the waterfall remains readily available for use by those who climb the beautiful rock, either for sightseeing or for other purposes. Watching the waterfall from the top of the hill is a beautiful sight to behold. The cool air which blows from the top of the mountain, especially around the waterfalls area, is indeed enjoyable. From and towards any direction you move on the Mbula Rock, you will certainly marvel at what nature has done to the historic rock in terms of beauty. Beyond that, the purpose it served in ancient times is what makes it a historic rock with utmost significance to the people. So, this aspect cannot be swept under the carpet.
Mbula is a unique mountain in this community. This is the highest mountain actually in the community, and its uniqueness dated back to the period of forefathers. It's a very unique site for us because it has caves there, the highest mountain during war periods in the 18th century. People used to place their own guards on top of the hill who will watch from as far as more than 30 to 40 kilometers.
watch for enemies coming into Das so that they will send the alert, alarm those on the ground, the direction of enemies, and even to a certain extent inform them about the distance, so that the ground troops will prepare and go and counter the troops that are coming to attack our community. So it's a very unique hill. In the olden days, this protective area or defensive area. You know, in those days, there were no missiles to be thrown to capture, you know, an area or people. During slave trade, when kingdoms were fighting kingdom, chiefdoms were fighting chiefdom. So whenever an attack is coming to us, people will run to the hills. And then we have our missiles, our local missiles, which are arrows that we shoot at enemies that come towards us. And that gave protection to the people of Das, to the extent that Das was never captured historically by the people of Bauchi. Whenever they, you know, besieged us, they can come and surround the area, but they cannot climb the hills because their horses cannot climb hills. So we use that as a defensive mechanism.
Yes.
Latest entrance, latest technology. Welcome to Intel 4G LTE Advanced and experience super fast internet access today. Visit intel.com.ng or any of our stores in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt to get started. Intel. Live more.
Apart from the security, which the cave provided for the weak and vulnerable during wars in ancient times, life was indeed enjoyable when the ancient inhabitants lived at the top of the Mbula rock.
It has all that it takes there for a human life to survive on that hill. Though it takes like 6 hours for you to climb from the bottom of the hill to the top of it. But if you can make it to the top, you will see very, very historic things. You will see ancient settlements. You will see the caves there. You will see the reservoir for water, which will contain water there for a year, complete year, for those on the top of the hill. And you will see the huts of our ancient fathers living on that hill.
These all-important purposes which the rock served in the ancient times account for the continuous romance between the rock and the people of Das.
The Bula Hill now today is a center of unity. Is even the logo of the emirate.
With tourism gaining increased importance the world over, the famous Mbula Rock is really a treasure to harness.
And what can be done to draw the attention of Nigerians and non-Nigerians, foreigners alike, to the beauty of Bula Hills? the government of Bauchi State can give some attention to this very fertile land of income generation through tourism by bringing developmental plans around the source of Bula Hills. There are many mountain climbers that will love to climb Bula Hills. It should be made accessible to people to be able to access these highlands by opening up either footpaths or even putting some form of lift to open up the space of the mountain and looking back at the plains where people live at the foot of the mountain. It will bring a lot of interest to the Emirates, and many people within and outside Nigeria would want to come and pay a visit to this magnificent beauty created by God.
Linked to the history of Mbula Rock in terms of protection of the people is that of another rock referred to as Jakiri Rock, which stands north of Mbula Rock. The name Jakiri was derived from historic incidents which occurred in the 18th century during the period of the quest for expansion of territories by emirates and kingdoms.
The people of Bauchi were told that if they can break that hill, that they will be able to conquer that.
In this regard, troops from Bauchi moved to conquer Das town without success on account of the Jakiri incident. Skins of several cows were made to serve as ropes to be used in pulling down the rock. These cow-skinned ropes were put round the rock, after which the warriors from Bauchi pulled the rope in order to bring down Jakiri Rock. To their surprise, the rope would get cut, and each time it got cut, a large number of soldiers died. This continued until the warriors decided to return to Bauchi without a clash with the Das warriors due to the loss of soldiers they encountered. Another myth surrounding the significance of the rock is that the ancient inhabitants of villages around Jakiri Rock got special species of chickens from the foot of the rock, thus a source of wealth to the people as well. Apart from the Jakiri Rock having the history of defense of the people of Das, the shape is in itself a wonder of nature. Another site of the historic significance, which is connected to the history of the 10-year battle between Das and Bauchi troops at that time, is the point which served as war camp for Bauchi warriors. It is referred to as Das Katanga, which means Das defensive wall in English language. It is today located at Bajar district of Das Emirate, at the boundary between Das and Toro local government area, which is under Bauchi Emirates today. The Bauchi warriors used the camp to launch the unsuccessful attacks on Das until 1870, which saw the end of the attacks and the quest to conquer Das by the Bauchi Emirates. It was from this point that the Bauchi warriors moved to Jakiri Rock, and the Jakiri incident earlier talked about occurred. Indeed, Mbula Rock is not just a rock, but one with enormous value which the people wish could be brought to the fore. The history of Das is certainly incomplete without the mention of Mbula Rock and the account of the role it played in the safety of the people in the ancient times during wars for expansion of territories by providing shelter for the weak and vulnerable in caves, while at the same time providing a ready position for Das warriors to take cover and for attacks against approaching adversaries, which helped them to remain undefeated in any war. Tourism-wise, Utsimbola, as it is called by the people of Das, will provide a huge revenue base for the government and the people if its potentials are fully tapped, considering its beauty and other characteristics, especially in today's world, where diversification of the economy and sources of revenue is the way to go in order to achieve a stable and sustainable revenue base. So, why not visit the famous rock with enormous beauty today and have experience you will never forget?
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. You can download www.visiontv.co.uk, app for iOS or Android. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
The National Broadcasting Commission has observed with concern the misuse of the airwaves to propagate incendiary materials by different groups in some broadcasting stations in recent times. While appreciating the need for educating, informing and enlightening the public on issues bordering on our national development, the Commission wishes to seize this opportunity to advise broadcasters to be circumspect in the handling of news and current affairs programs by exhibiting the necessary professionalism. Consequently, the Commission implores broadcasters to advise guests and or analysts on their platforms not to polarize the citizenry with divisive rhetorics in driving home their points. Ensure that every news and current affairs program conforms with the provision of the Nigeria Broadcasting Code. take their social responsibility requirements seriously. Therefore, the Commission reminds broadcasters to be guided by the provisions of the Nigeria Broadcasting Code, especially the underlisted sections 5.3.3b. The broadcasters shall, in using political materials for news and current affairs programs, avoid hate speech, inflammatory, derogatory, and divisive remarks or allusions. 5.4.1f. The broadcaster shall not transmit divisive material that may threaten or compromise the indivisibility and indissolubility of Nigeria as a sovereign state. 5.5.6. The broadcaster shall have a delay mechanism to guard against possible undesirable content. Please note that every broadcast station is responsible for the content it transmits and shall be held liable for any content in violation of the Nigeria Broadcasting Code. Be advised. Signed, Malam Balarebe Shehu Ilela, Director General, Announcer. To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, Go TV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk.
And to watch NTA International in the USA, Canada, and Mexico, use the following satellite parameters.
You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Land of the Free and Africa's oldest republic is 175-year-old as an independent nation. President Muhammadu Buhari joined other African leaders in Monrovia as the country commemorates this landmark. He pledged Nigeria's continued support to efforts at sustaining peace, unity and progress of the West African nation.
Permit me to assure you and all Liberians that Nigeria is a good partner. We would continue to support you in these efforts within the limit of our resources.
The Nigeria police says it is not leaving any stone unturned in fortifying the Federal Capital Territory and environs. In a statement by the first Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi, the IGP has ordered additional deployment of assets to strategic areas of the FCT, while the Force Intelligence Bureau has been charged on robust intelligence gathering and information sharing among other agencies. The force urges residents of FCT and environs to synergize and be on the same page with the police and other security agencies in forestalling any ugly incidences in and around the FCT. Jet A1 constituting a barrier to smooth flight services is being addressed with a 10,000 metric tons intervention to airline operators of Nigeria by the federal government. The initiative is part of the outcome of a meeting between Minister of Aviation and leadership of airline operators of Nigeria as part of measures to bring the industry back on track from many of its challenges.
Importation by OAN or members of OAN is not an immediate solution for what is happening now. That can come, it will be a long-term project. We've not really jettisoned that. We thank Mr. President. He graciously approved the release of 10,000 metric tons to these airlines, and they gave us a window, a 3 months window, within which to continue intervening to not only make the product available, but at the same time to bring the prices to about 585 naira to a liter instead of us paying 740 or 800. So we are very thankful to the government for doing that.
Aviation correspondent Emmanuel Ayumi reports that the difficulties in accessing forex, which is another determinant for cost of flight operation, is also being addressed.
Because of the significance and importance of the sector, we would approach and ensure that we are able to get this foreign exchange at the official rate. That will help significantly the sector.
And that's the news update at this time. Join us at 1 for another. Thanks for watching and have a good day.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Hi there. A very warm welcome to another beautiful episode of Lifelines with Mima. How have you been? How is everything with you? I hope you're doing well. Today we're treating a rather unconventional